Hey, how's it going? My name is Oscar and welcome to a completely new League of Legends coaching video here at League Unleashed. Today we'll be looking over the best Udyr in Korea, and not a lot of people actually play this champion. But we'll see how this guy does it and how he does it differently from the rest of us. And as you guys know, Udyr is actually like a pretty underrated champion, I would personally say, in this current season. He really excels in different areas, and from what we can see with this guy is that in pretty much every single game, he always runs face rush obviously because of the movement speed, and he goes for the Phoenix max, guys. This is what is the best right now. You get the most damage off of it just because of the base stats, and you pretty much go full tank off of that. But even after that, you still do have crazy amount of damage. And what is so obnoxious about this champion as well is that the amount of movement speed that you have, because the reason why this guy averages 8 CS per minute over 75 games is because he's able to clear his jungle so fast. He's moving around the map at all times. He can split push later on. For him, it's all about getting his 2 core items, and after that, he can pretty much just play off of that. He has enough damage with his R to clear the waves, to clear the jungle camps at a really high pace, and he just plays off of that. But anyways, we'll hop into the game right here and we'll see how he does it. So in this game, he's playing versus a Taliyah jungle. He has some pretty interesting matchups right here. Looks like he just places a ward onto his red, then recalls and decides to start into the top side. Fortunately, he does not get a leash. It doesn't really matter when you're playing Udyr though, because as you see, your first clearance aren't the best, but the pace and puffing speed is pretty decent still. So it looks like he's just going to be looking for a regular full clear right here. He's a really good pace right now. It's going to be there for the Skull Crab as well. This is pretty much like Carver's clear speed, considering that he did not get a leash either. He sees that enemy bot lane is overextended, instantly uses his ghost. So here he catches a stun onto Rel. He gets peeled kind of hard, but Lucian looks like it's just like an easy pickup right there. They pick up 2 kills right there. He gets one of them as well, which is really nice for him. He goes for blue smite as well, and it's mainly because he's running Nimbus Cloak, and with the amount of movement speed, it is really nice for him. Looks like he wants to go into Taliyah's jungle and see if there are any camps up, but considering that Taliyah did not show anywhere on the map, it doesn't really appear that there will be any camps up. Mid lane gets all the kill, and this is what you always have to do. When this happens, when a lane, if you gank someone or whatever it is, or you see that they die, walk in, take their farm, and this is how you can average a crazy amount of CS per minute. Right here, he wasn't certain whether or not if Taliyah was into his blue side. Seems like she was, and therefore he opts for the invade. Looks like he catches Taliyah off guard right here as she's moving into the blue side, or top side, I mean. Barely does not have enough damage to finish her off. That's very unfortunate. Tries to see if there are any camps up. He did also press tab, and the reason why we know this, he would never head into a jungle right here if Taliyah had 36 CS, because then he would have known that Taliyah would have taken his camps. Looks like he's just gonna be, looking for the camps. Bot lane dies. Looks like he will look to take Dragon, as Taliyah is on a reset timer. She is bot side for sure. Yeah, she shows up bot side, but it's not really gonna stop them whatsoever. Yet again, mid lane is left in a bad position. He sees the opportunity, gets a few minions. Yet again, he has the respawn timer on the Raptors, so he knows exactly when they're gonna be up. He just keeps on clearing them. And if you look at the CS difference right now, after this camp right here, it's gonna be 10 CS up, which is, well, 2.5 camps onto Taliyah in just 7 minutes, which is really good for him. Yet again, Akali dies top lane. He sees that the wave does push into Akali, however, it should make it so that she's able to go there in time. Let's see here. LeBlanc is able to see that Taliyah is not on Raptors. Goes for the opportunity right here to take his red buff. I would say this is a bit scary, but considering Taliyah and red shows there now, it's fine. You have to be cautious with going for these type of invades when you know that your top laner was just dead and enemy top laner is still up. But it seems like it works out just fine for him. And this is the type of playstyle that you want. This is how you can really expand your lead. see here, uses his ghost. The hours away. But back to what I was saying, like, this is what you want to do in your games. Like, if you're playing a farm-aligned jungler, such as Udyr, Evelyn, Carvers, whatever it is, like, and you have, like, decent amount of movement speed, Hecarim as well, that's a good example, like, try to look for these invades, right? If you're able to, like, get a camp or 2, or even 3 camps up on enemy jungler, you're putting pretty much the entire enemy team behind, and this is what this guy does so efficiently. And on Udyr, with the movement speed, as I mentioned, like, you can do this super quickly. Looks like he's gonna be leaving the red buff yet again, picks up 3 CS mid. Is on Scuttle on the respawn timer. He has a lot of gold right now, but he's greeding kind of to go for the Raptors as well, because he just wants to put Taliyah as far behind as possible, because he knows that, okay, if I put Taliyah behind, I kind of put the whole entire enemy team behind. He does get in a kind of a pickle, but he does end up getting out, just because of the face rush. He procs that pretty easily. And he just keeps on farming. Like, this is what you want to do. You just want to get your items and you can carry off of that. Like, mid-game Udyr, I don't know if you guys have met it a lot in solo queue, but in the mid-game, your champion is so ridiculously strong. Like, no one can really duel you. As you see, like, he just keeps on catching waves. Right now, he's like almost 10 CS per minute on a jungler, which is pretty crazy. But this is how you can really excel off of that. He did create a lead into bot lane. I don't think enemy bot lane should be 0-9 right now. But still, he did make an opening for them. Plus, they're playing Samira fresh, so obviously they can play, or they have a lot of snowball potential, is what I mean. Looks for the dragon. Bot lane's on the reset timer, so this is kind of greedy, but this guy just wants to do as much as he can on the shortest amount of time possible. Like, he wants to be very efficient in his jungle. He wants to have the tempo. Does not really seem like this is gonna work though. Enemy might actually pick up this dragon because of that. So this is kind of a mistake by him, because if he did Krugs instead and just bet on the fact that Taliyah did not take the dragon, then most likely Samira and Fresh could have shown up and they could have just carried the fight for him. He does have his mythic item right now though, so he is pretty strong, and you can see the clear speed. It's so ridiculous. Sees that Akali is getting 3-manned. Look at this damage, guys. This is actually insane. With just 1 item as well. The base stats that you have on the champion is ridiculous. I mean, Silas does escape, and like, he's the one that's kind of fed on enemy team, which is a bit bad. But obviously, like, you know, 1 for 2, you always take that. Or 2 for 1, I mean, sorry. Knows that Taliyah is dead. He, as you can see, like, if you're able to track the jungle like this guy, you can get so much from the enemy. And he just keeps on putting the Taliyah behind. At this point, yes, Taliyah is only 1 level down, but Udyr is, well, 35 CS up. So he's incredibly far ahead. Just keeps on clearing the jungle. And he keeps on looking for the opportunities. He sees that mid lane, or bot lane goes mid. Therefore, he knows that Lucian is going to show the wave, it's going to crash, okay. You know, it's all about doing this, right? I mean, he's just getting 3, 4, 5 CS each and every time he does this, but once you add it up, it does make a difference. It definitely does. They're looking for a plain top lane right here. He sees that Camilla is pretty low HP. Taliyah uses all of her abilities, and then that's when he wants to go in. He knows that Akali can peel for herself. I mean, Akali kind of trolled that, but he should be able to pick up this kill on Camille, because she does not have E. And he literally does not even lose health. Like, this guy is just too tanky, he's just too quick. Keeps on pushing top lane. He's probably going to clear next wave as well. Yep, that's what he's going to do. He has all of his camps up in bot side. However, he keeps on taking camps from Taliyah. The amount of gold and EXP this guy is able to funnel into himself just by playing like this is ridiculous. Like, once he gets his resets right now, like, he doesn't really need to farm beyond that stage, because he's gonna have Warmugs, and with Udyr, like, the stats that you have, like, he has Mercs as well, which is super good versus their team. Like, he pretty much cannot die. As you see, he's gonna go, like, he doesn't even care. He runs in 1v3 and he's not afraid of the enemy. He knows his limits. Kali is able to pick up that. He does not overextend onto Lucian. but it's probably gonna end up taking dragon right here. Maybe grump before? No? Does look for the catch onto Silas, but okay, they actually do get the kill. That's insane. The amount of movement speed you have it's ridiculous. Like it's constantly over 500 pretty much whenever you have E, because you just spam E and you use W and then you use R to clear the camps. Does end up getting the dragon right here. There's some skirmish happening. Rel is just too overextended, missed the stun, and apparently decides to run it down. But at this stage the game is just over. This guy, it might not seem like he did a lot, but if we watch this game from Talia's perspective, you would actually realize how much he actually did, because it was so unplayable from her perspective. He pretty much took everything he could from her. And as you see, like at 20 minutes, he's 2 levels ahead. He's, well, if he takes his camps right here, he's gonna be pretty close to 15. And like, as you see, like he's 2 levels on his top laner, 2 levels on his mid laner. Like, this is nuts. Opts to go for the recall, picks up some more armor, he's gonna go into Dead Man's Plate. Goes for Scuttle. I mean, it's pretty much like an AFK farming playstyle, kind of, but at the same time, like, you constantly want to have the mindset that you want to be doing something. Since that Lucian is there, he just sons him out. Samir does actually end up dying, but look at him, like, what is the enemy gonna do? There are 3 people on him, and they're still struggling to kill this guy. They use all of their cooldowns, and it's, you know, barely enough to get 40% of his HP away. They just simply can't kill him. Obviously he does not want to overextend into that, but his team did kind of show right there. Samir should never die right there. And look at this, look at the movement speed. He's just zooming around there. Literally 1v3ing. And he gets out. Like, you can compare this champion, especially now with like the face rush type of playstyle, a lot to Singed, because, or Shaco, like he's able to waste the enemy's time by a lot because they can never hit his, like, their skill shots onto him, because he's way too quick for them. They can never catch up to him. See here, lands the stun onto Rel. Sees that Talia is there. Almost outruns the W. Sadly does not though. He's just looking for picks at this point. Like, he wants to set up Baron or a potential end if they are able to wipe them. Right now he's just trying to prepare Baron, setting up vision, seeing that mid lane is pushing. He's shadowing for LeBlanc. However, Drake is spawning, so he's probably going to be looking to take Dragon instead. He just keeps on running around, like he's permanently looking for these catches, and eventually, as you see, like Talia overextends, you know, that's a pick. He's gonna go for Baron right here, probably. He trades that for Dragon, it doesn't really matter. Like, if this was Soul, obviously they would choose Soul over Baron, but right now, like, it doesn't really matter. Baron is just going to be stronger because they can probably end the game off of this. What you need to remember about Udyr though is that eventually you will get to the stage where the enemies can kill you. You are very strong in the mid-late game kind of, but you do eventually fall off and the enemy will get enough items to eventually kill you. So you gotta remember, like, as you see, this guy is always constantly doing something. It's not like you can just, you know, it's not like the game is just won by you getting fed early. Like, you gotta remember to close out the games. It's super important. I mean, he's tanking the turret, tanking all of Talia's damage. It literally does not matter whatsoever. At this point, the game is just pretty much over. It's 10-0. Well, it appears that the enemy has not given up. Keeps on pushing. As you see, he's level 17 at 26 minutes, which is ridiculous. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just peeling Samira, setting up CC. And let's see now. They end the game. What a game by this guy. Although, unfortunately, I can't pronounce his name. But as you see, like, the things that are important on this champion right here, it's just about to funnel as much gold into yourself, constantly be running around, taking camps, taking farm, looking for opportunities to take your laner's farm whenever they're recalling, if wave's in a bad position, if they're not there, whatever it is. Like, this is how you can average 8 CS per minute on average over like 75 games and still have an incredible late or early game as well. It just depends, right? He's just looking for the opportunities that are really free. He does not want to force any place in the early game. He just wants to farm up, and he knows that once he gets his 2 items, he's not afraid anymore. Well, he can carry off of that. But like, if the game goes into, well, if his team loses early, like, he's not afraid either, because he just wants his 2 items, get the mercs as well, and then he can pretty much carry it by himself, because he's just reliant on the enemy or his team, you know, actually getting some damage themselves. But for the most part, like, all he's looking for is to set it up for his team, play around gold, play around the XP, and that's how he carries his games. Alright, so that's pretty much going to be it for me today. As I said, or as I've said before, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. We did something a bit different today with Udyr. So if you have any suggestions for future videos, you can just leave it in the comments and I'll get to them whenever I can. But that's pretty much gonna be it. I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye bye.